Hi, we're Gloom East, and this is Questions on the Red Couch.
How did living in Florida leave an imprint on your music, and has the recent move to Philly changed that? Okay, it definitely left a imprint on us. I wouldn't say so much like a sonic imprint, more just like it's really just like us and like a few other artists. 'Cause I mean, like, there's like a lot of people who we like that came out of Florida, but like most of them left, or like nobody really knows they're from Florida. So I think it's kind of like like a underdog kind of vibe that we carry with ourselves. Um, and then
I
yeah,
oh, I think the I to answer the second half of the question, it definitely changed. I think sonically we were already going in a different direction, but I think like the first sort of songs we made, like Life of the Party was the first song we made when we moved to Philly, and it was I think it's kind of similar, but I feel like we were venturing into a different sound. And the only reason that song came about was just because we were not used to how cold it was, and we were just like kind of miserable. And I feel like that was the result of it. Your first East Coast tour has been taking place over the last month. What have you learned about yourself from being on tour? I feel like I've learned that I'm not that great under pressure.
yeah, that's a really good point.
Like touring is very grueling.
Yeah,
And like just today, like even today, like we drove up from Philly for this and I was a wreck. And I was like, man, I mean, I love doing this, but it is taxing.
yeah. Um, to like touch on like the negative stuff, I realized that there's like really awesome musicians out there, and I feel like it would be really cool. I guess like the more that like we've like played in like spaces with other people, it's been kind of like, oh wow, there's like a lot of people who are trying to do the same thing, so it's kind of like nice, but it's also like, dang, I need to get on my grind because like I'm not that good like in comparison. But yeah, that's probably like the main thing. Which Disney movie has the best soundtrack? Oh man.
Toy Story.
Wow. No, yeah. That one's pretty good, yeah. I was gonna say Lion King
Oh,
probably.
Lion
Yeah,
King has
Lion King
some
probably
bangers.
has the
Hercules, actually,
Hercules has good ones too.
Hercules has some pretty good songs.
Oh,
What
it's
about,
movie because I was about to say like like this show, like Hannah Montana or
oh
something.
yeah, I mean, there's a Hannah Montana movie,
That's the
so
best soundtrack
yeah.
then. That's the best one.
What song most inspires you right now?
I think it's No Way by February. That's like I've been listening to that on repeat, and I think that our next stuff is definitely gonna sound like it. What about you?
I mean, the first song that came to mind is "Missus" by Dominic Fike. I've been loving that the 14 minutes EP that he has out. Like so I say like that at least sonically, I'm like that really inspires me.
Mm. Like Angie said, we're going like in a different direction now. So it's like everything that we hear that's like interesting to us gets kind of like put into like the pile of like influences. Um, but I think it's funny because me and Angie don't really listen to the same music, and like there's like two completely different pools of influence that Angie has and that I have. There's like some crossover, but there's not really a lot. So I think it's really cool though because we can still be really close. um, where do you draw most of your inspo from? Hmm. Yeah, you go
I'd
first.
say for me it's like very much I mean it's definitely like my trauma, my childhood trauma. That's like the majority of my songs, but or songs. But I'd say yeah, that's it, honestly. Um
Yeah, that's real.
and if it's not childhood trauma, it's like literally every song I feel like I've spearheaded the lyrics. It's not a happy song, so I feel like I only draw from negativity. Like I don't really have any positive thoughts.
Same. No, yeah. No, that's what makes it good. Yeah. I same place.
Okay.
Honestly, from negativity and just low self esteem, just like that vibe.
Ooh.
Um,
Oh, I love this question. With a deep love of songwriting and poetry, who would you say some of who would you say are some of your favorite poets?
this is a you question because
Dang, man, don't put this on
you're the
me.
poet. Let's
Ugh.
look up list of poets.
List of poets, that's crazy.
I know some. I'm
Uh,
just like like my faves.
I mean,
Maya Angelou, she was a poet.
Sure.
Yeah, she's
You're
good.
just picking the first person you see.
There's a couple. No, I skipped the first three. They didn't sound that good. Or I know them. I don't think they're that good. Do you have like any fave?
I mean, the what comes to mind for me is, I mean, can we count like songwriters as poets? Okay. So don't know their name, which is really bad, but the lead singer of Daughter, the band, I think their lyricism is absolutely amazing. If you're ever going to listen to a song of theirs, listen to a song called Smother. Smother by Daughter. The lyricism is absolutely, that's where I draw my inspiration from
Mm,
in songwriting. I feel like that song and this artist was what made me want to get into songwriting.
mm,
Yeah.
that's cool.
You
No.
could you could say you
Nah.
could say like a
My
song.
songwriter.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a great question. Who has like the best lyrics?
Top of your head. It's
Top of
like,
my
yeah,
head.
like who do you look to and you're like, man, their lyrics are sick.
Angie, you know.
That's crazy.
Angie's my actually, you know what? Yeah, Angie's my inspiration for lyricism because without Angie, all of our stuff would be about like being alone, like
Relationships, no
relationship,
offense.
like nothing actually deep and significant. So I feel like thank to Angie, our stuff is like tactful. Right.
I think
Wait, what?
who says it next? I don't know.
I can say it.
Okay.
What's one place in the world you would want to travel to?
Singapore.
Dang, me too. That twin. No, that's great. No, I was the okay. Maybe China. I think I'd go to China.
Is it okay? What was the biggest change in your artistry when you began working together as a band? I feel like I feel like for me it's confidence. I've always loved music and I've always made music on my own, but I was always too shy to do anything with it. And it wasn't until I met Zaia that I was like, oh, this is actually something viable. So I'd say my confidence has grown significantly since working together.
Hmm. I would say like consistency. Um, I think that before I met Angie, I would just never dream about actually putting anything out, and Angie's the only reason we've ever put anything out. Because the songs that we make will always get to a point where I'm like, no, this could completely change, and like we have to like do something different. Angie's like, no, you're dumb,
I
and
don't say you're
yeah, we'd
dumb.
be like, no, we got to drop it anyways. And I feel like without Angie, like most of our music would not be out. So yeah, I would say my consistency changed.
I think that's it.
Now it's done. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Thank you.